Hey, good afternoon. Again, this is my second video, so if it comes off kind of crazy, I apologize. But I'm doing this to help out. I'm Charles Wagenrunner. I'm doing this to help out some of my students from JRTC and from my strength and conditioning classes as a coach. So some of the questions come up about, I want to lose weight, or I want to work out really hard, or give me some great workouts to get bigger and stronger. And what they're missing is the key fact of eating and rest. So eating, rest, and hydration are probably the three most missed keys for fitness. And when I talk about it, they're like, well, I don't really understand, or what can I eat for this, and what can I do for that? So really quick, I'm just going to show a series of things that I use. I am not endorsing any one product over another. It's just what I enjoy to eat. I change these periodically as the weeks and months go on, or my wife finds something different. Says, hey, try this. I try to do different things. But so with this, let's start with vegetables, so I can put them back in the freezer and refrigerator. Vegetables and fruit. So I eat a ton of blueberries, lots and lots of blueberries. I probably eat two bags of these a week. There's approximately 10 servings in this, so if you think about it, I'm eating more than one serving a day because I eat about 2 bags of this a week. I eat these a lot. I eat them in my shakes. I eat them in my morning oatmeal. I eat them with my yogurts. I like blueberries. It's my favorite fruit. So this is something I eat. It's a superfood. If you know anything about superfoods, it can help you out to learn about it. Put this away. Then I got spinach. I don't have much left. My wife and I still have to go to the grocery store today, but I get spinach, and I eat this in my shakes. This is in my shakes more than anything else. You can put it in your salads. I usually buy ready-made salads though, so but this is it. I put 3 cups of this in my shakes daily, every shake I make. So I have ample greens. Alright, next is for fruits, or for vegetables. I like raw vegetables more than I like cooked. Again, you can eat them any way you want, but I love to eat raw vegetables. So first point is make sure they're thoroughly washed and cleaned. That's the #1 problem with raw vegetables, with bacteria build up and dirty and pesticides. So make sure they're washed and clean. So I'm pretty religious when it comes to these things. I eat these salad packs, about half or a whole one every day. The one thing I should mention at this, so half of this fits into one of my salads, and then I add about 5 ounces of chicken on top of it. But what I do is I throw away the croutons or the chips or any of the carbohydrate-based things in here. I throw those away. For the dressings, I only use half the dressing. So it'll say 1 serving, like on this, 1 serving is 140 calories. So I eat 2 servings at one time, which is 280 calories plus my chicken. But I cut half of most of the calories from this comes from your dressing, and I only use half of the recommended amount. So it really brings it down a little bit in your caloric intake, but this is good. Next thing is just mixed vegetables that come ready for stir fry or whatever. You can eat these as is. I enjoy eating raw vegetables. I eat baby carrots all the time. Or you can take these vegetables, and so there's been times where I had to supplement my spinach that was gone. So I just put this stuff into my NutriBullet in lieu of. So just make sure you follow the serving sizes by ounces or the gram count. Use your scale, weigh it so that you know your actual calorie and your vitamin intake. Put it in there, blend it, all that stuff, but you have to use the scale or eyeball, and it's fine if you've been doing this for years, even though people that have been doing this for years still weigh just to make sure. But keep that in mind. So eyeball doesn't always work. Let me put these away. Alright, next, so that should cover some fruits and vegetables. There's always more, but that's all I'm going to cover with now. Now we'll talk about grains and your carbs. So rice, I have found that jasmine rice, I don't care what brand it is you get, but jasmine rice cooks the best, lasts the longest, tastes the best, has a nice texture. These work well, and it also has a higher caloric value, so you get more bang for your buck, basically. Super cheap. You can buy these, and when I'm bulking up, I'll buy this in the 10-pound bags, the really big bags. You can get them bigger than that if you want to, but you can buy these really cheap. It's easy. and just follow the directions on how to make it. Use your Instapot, whatever it is, rice maker. Perfect samples. Make sure you're measuring it out when you put it into your food as your meal prep goes on. Next thing is I eat this specific brand of oatmeal is my favorite. It's the Quaker protein oatmeal, and I try to stick to the cranberry almond. I just enjoy it. I eat a lot of nuts and berries in my food, but this right here is probably the best one I've had so far. I make my morning breakfast is made of this, blueberries, 2 scoops of peanut butter every morning. That's my massive intake of carbs right off the bat in the morning. So it's definitely a good, and it's usually good for my pre-workout as well. So keep that in mind. So I love this. You take whatever you want, try what you want, but those are the things. I don't eat a lot of pasta, but when I do, here's whole grain source pasta. I don't care who makes it or whatever, but you just get whole grain source. It's not expensive. This pasta tastes better, a little al dente, a little crispy, but you can cook it just like any other noodle. It just cooks the same way. You can bring it down. Same spaghetti. You can do everything the exact same as before. Just add these. It increases your nutritional value of your meal. Or you could change your sauce up and make it a little more nutritious. 2 more items for carbs. This is quinoa. So this you can eat hot or cold after it's cooked, obviously. It looks like little curly cues. They're great in salads. They're great as a standalone meal. You just add some garlic salt or something in there. They're perfect. You mix it with your chicken. It's really good. The good thing about this over rice is that this has a higher protein count. So for every 1/4 cup of this, you're getting 6 grams of protein, which helps because in American diets, we don't eat enough protein as it is. It's very difficult, specifically in a fitness world, to get enough protein. This is new to me. I just started doing this a couple weeks ago. I have a trainer myself, and my trainer suggested this bread. But again, I'm not advocating any one bread or another, but this is a whole grain bread. I like this one best because this one is, each slice is 100 calories. It's loaded in omega-3s, fiber, protein, tons of whole grains. It's really great for my system. It's helped out my digestion. It's kept me going. And my wife just started eating these too, so it's not a muscle head thing. This is actually a pretty good meal for all around the house. You could just make PB&J out of this with this, and you just increase the nutritional value of your food. So then I guess now we're on to protein. So proteins is the biggest thing when it comes to fitness. So I have several sources here. One is almonds. You can eat so 6 grams of protein per serving, which is a 1/4 cup. The thing I'm cautioning you about this is, although the fats are good, too much of anything is a bad thing. So just be careful with your fats here when it comes to almonds. Plus, they're very expensive as it comes to all the nuts. That one's kind of expensive. Then there's this. I eat chunky peanut butter religiously. I eat this more than I eat oatmeal, and I eat oatmeal every day. Protein. Peanut butter, I probably go through 64 ounces of peanut butter a week. So it's actually a very large container that I normally eat. This is the one we had at the grocery store at the time. But so I like crunchy because it adds a texture to it. So it's having instead of a mushy, slimy feel with your oatmeal, now I have something I can chew and crunch. So that's what I use. A lot of protein. 2 tablespoons. Don't mound it because then again, too much of anything is a bad thing. So 2 tablespoons is more than enough for this. My wife actually found this. This is, I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, it's Ziggis. This is Greek yogurt. It's extremely high in protein and very low in calories, so I love this. So the protein count on this is 24 grams per 8 ounces. You can get this one. There's flavored kinds. Now, if you get the flavored kinds, you're adding the calorie count because they add sugars to make it taste right. This is kind of a soury taste, but I eat this with 1 scoop. So I take this with 1 scoop of my protein powder. Let me show you. So I'll mix 1 8 ounces of this with 1 scoop of this and 1 or 2 scoops of peanut butter for a phenomenal protein, high protein snack. It does really well for me, and I think you would enjoy it. So, anyways, this is a good one. Give it a shot, give it a try. Egg whites, can't go wrong with egg whites. So, every cup of egg whites is 5 eggs. So if you're doing eggs, whole eggs, it's 6 grams of protein per whole egg. For egg whites, it's usually 5 grams of protein per egg, which is 3 tablespoons. So for 5 eggs, it's 1 cup. So you just take your normal measuring cup like this. You take your normal measuring cup, put it in 1 cup. That's 5 eggs. 5 times 5 is 25 grams of protein. If you want 50 grams, just 2 cups of eggs. That's just a lot of eggs, though. A lot of eggs for some people. So just think about this. And this, simple. Add some seasonings to it. Throw in some vegetables. You're good to go. Excellent source of protein. Beans. These best if you know a lot about how to cook beans. They take a long time to cook, or you put them in your Instapot and you can do it in record time, super fast. But if you're not a bean eater, maybe this is not your thing, but excellent source of protein, excellent source of fat, excellent source of omega-3s. Beans are great for your body in all aspects, and you can buy them. They're extremely inexpensive. You can buy a 50-pound bag of beans if you felt like going to Costco to buy it, and it would last you as long as you keep them in a cool, dry place. Last you forever. So beans, definitely good. Last 2 things. So I got tuna fish. I don't generally eat tuna fish because I don't like things that come out of a can so much, but high in protein. It just has high sodium counts. But for these, 11 grams per serving. 11 grams per serving. So if you make a fat tuna sandwich or a tuna boat, you can get a lot of protein out of this. It's also really good to dry it or to pour it out. Just make sure it's in water and not oil. So pour out the water, break it up, and you can put it in your salad. You can have a tuna salad. It's really good overall. My number one thing in every meal I have is chicken. Tons and tons of chicken. So I do my Instaprep meal, frozen or thawed out as long as I have the strips. I usually use chicken breast strips or chicken breast halves. This time I actually have thighs and breasts. I mix them. Thighs are higher in fat, but I like a little bit of fat in my meal. I'm not really a bodybuilder, so I don't care about getting a few extra calories from fats. As long as it's good on my heart, it's good for my body. But this, I'll put these in my Instapot, throw some seasoning in there. I do use 1 cup of apple cider vinegar and 1 cup of water to put the base at the bottom of the Instapot. That's the liquids it's need to cook. And then you cook it, and in less than 13 minutes, all of this chicken will be ready to go. And then all I do is I cut it up into my 5-ounce sections. I weigh it on my scale, and then I load it up. So either today, tomorrow, sometime next week, I'll show you a picture of all my food laid out in a prep. And then I just stack them together and I stick them in the refrigerator. And then what happens is when I come downstairs for school in the morning, I just grab my meals for the day, shove it in my ISO prep bag, and walk about my happy merry way and go to school. And I have all my food that I need for the day. So I hope this was informative enough for you. This is just the things that I eat that I generally have. It's to help out some of my students. If you have any questions, either leave a comment or catch me at school and let me know what your issues are. Have a great day.